come and say hello first. Come on, let's just do the intro. Come and sit with Mummy. Come on. You smell a bit, Tess. Why do you smell?
Oh, has she rolled in fox shit? Or is it you?
Welcome to the pod. It's a beautiful mess. Shane and Louise, no need to impress. Stories, rants, and a laugh or two. And don't forget Tessie, the dog's here too. It's serious, it's silly, it's off the wall. Sort of a show, not a show at all. Sort of a pound away, people. $1.50 get you through the steeple. Join the club, join the sound. It's chaos wrapped in a podcast crown.
Hello and welcome to Sort of a Pound, the podcast with me, Shane.
And me, Louise, is back.
And Tessie.
The dog who's down here, she doesn't want a cuddle buddle because she has got a ball. So all you're going to see is me throwing a ball for the dog. Hey, there she is. Guest appearance from Tessie.
Did we get her?
Yeah. Guest appearance from Tessie.
Oh, oh. Come on, Tessie, because you didn't appear in last week's one. You need to make a better grander appearance than that.
Come on then. Up you
go. On. There she was.
Hey.
Well, it's a lot better having you back than AI Louise.
She's a cow, isn't she?
She was an absolute bitch.
And you took the worst pictures for AI Louise. Like, got a really fat face. My lips were awful. Like I was slouching, like my tits around the waist. Like I don't like it.
There was.
I'm not a fan of AI Louise. Got no cheekbones.
Yeah, but your teeth look good.
Proper turkey AI teeth.
But I found the clip where you were like, almost like smirking at the camera just to make AI Louise look even like worse. And it just worked so much better. Because it was like almost like, because she was being really sarcastic. It like worked with
I haven't watched it actually.
Oh, have you not?
No. And it needs to be watched, doesn't it, on YouTube?
How
are our internet stats looking? On our social media stats looking like?
So since the last time we recorded,
which was a while ago,
it was probably a month ago, we did cause some controversy with some of our comments.
Which ones?
Well, should we start off with the comments from the pounders? Took some stills just so that I didn't forget them. So let's start with this one. So apparently your blueberry thing was completely wrong, according to Kavin Sky 2. Well,
Kavin Sky 2, I don't mean I'm no dietitian. However, when I used to work in publishing, we had this thing called a town hall, and we used to get like guest speakers in of books that we'd published.
Oh, yeah.
So one year, Dermot O'Leary had come in to talk about a kid's book that he'd written about cats based on his actual cats. Because he'd got a blind cat, so he wrote a kid's book about a blind cat.
Oh, right.
It was like a superhero. And the other cat helped him. I didn't know he'd done a kid's book until I went to the town hall.
Dermot O'Leary?
Dermot O'Leary.
Oh.
Dermot O'Leary.
I don't know what I think of Dermot O'Leary.
I think it's all right, Dermot O'Leary.
Do you?
One of my friends, who I'm not really friends with him, not just because of life, but she went to school with him.
And that's why you're not friends with her anymore?
No, not at all. No, it's just like, those friendships that you had with people at school and then they get married and stuff and then they go off and do their opposite. So, yeah, she went to school with him. She said he was a lovely bloke.
I liked him when he used to do Big Brother's Little Brother with Davina.
I never watched the spin-off stuff. I just could never cope with that.
Oh, I liked him then, but when he started doing X Factor, I thought he got really like cocky and arrogant.
I don't think I watched that either. He's on this morning now, isn't he?
He does this morning with Kat Deely.
And the other one, what's her name? Alison Hammond.
Oh, she's hilarious. I love her.
But clearly we don't watch it because we have jobs.
No, I only see the clips. Like, you know, when they put like
funny
clips.
I see them
like,
I see them on
Insta and all that, yeah.
No, but the reason I was telling you this is because at the same town hall, they had a guy on there who'd written a book about nutrition, and he was and all of my nutrition facts come from this like town hall and him reading really interesting things about. It's like if you have mustard seeds with broccoli, then it enhances the broccoli, and you should always wrap broccoli up in like cling film and stuff. You know, where everything else should be not kept in plastic, broccoli should, because whatever's in broccoli, it loses its broccoli.
What? Like in the fridge? Is that why they sell it in
Yeah.
cling film?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brand new information.
I know. And the tomatoes thing. And the blueberries thing. But no, he absolutely said warm blueberries better than cold blueberries.
Well, this is
I'll try
apparently...
and remember his name, though.
Yeah, and then we'll quote it. And
okay.
Then we'll reply to Kevin's Sky too, because he said, I assume it's a he, Kevin. That could be anyone.
It could be.
The research shows prolonged high temperatures from especially microwaves reduce antioxidant levels. There is no healthier way to consume blueberries than raw. Antioxidants don't need to be released. That isn't a thing.
Well, I was told that the best way to, and he certainly didn't say microwave it, and I guess, you know, gentle heat. But no, he absolutely
Did he say
said,
microwave?
Oh my God. Nigella, love Nigella. But no, I was told, but I shall find out his name.
Yes, find out that name.
Yes.
Then I got some slack.
Did you?
Do you remember the episode where we discussed conspiracy theories?
Oh, God, yeah.
Where it was like probably the only one episode where we disagreed completely.
The only one, are you sure?
So, you know, when I said that, why did civilization advance all at the same time?
Yes.
Aztecs, Egyptians.
Did that actually happen?
Well, apparently there was lots of comments on this one.
Was there? Was there really?
Yes.
I mean, lots of people actually watch the podcast.
I know, I can believe it. Apparently Styler 2208 said the Oxford University predates Machu Picchu by 200 years. And I was like,
really?
Apparently.
Oh. But now, I'm going to get this wrong, so don't come after me. But there's some really interesting statistic about crocodiles, that crocodiles were on the earth before like trees or something. They are like the oldest things, but like predate on like everything by a long shot.
Because I think crocodiles existed when dinosaurs were about as well.
They were way before dinosaurs as well.
I know they were definitely, they survived.
Yeah, they did.
Like,
yeah. But I'm pretty sure they were there before like trees. I'm sure there's like a...
I don't know if they were there
and
before
again,
trees.
maybe should fact check some of this stuff. Ask ChatGPT.
We shall on a future one, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know because I know that, you know how they say we've had 5 mass extinctions.
I didn't know
we're
that.
coming up to the 6th mass extinction.
I didn't know that. What, the ice ages, etc.
Like one of them was the comet hitting and wiping out dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I think loads happened like very early on in the Earth's origins.
I don't know this.
But they're saying that we're coming up to, that scientists say that we're coming up to the 6th mass extinction.
I didn't know that.
Did you not?
That? No idea.
Oh, so
go on. What other comments did you get?
We had sarcastic Mother the Third.
Well, we just make stuff up. We're not experts on anything, are we?
Can you list all civilizations around the world that didn't? Also, there are hundreds, if not thousands of years between ancient Egypt and Aztecs. But what I was saying was like it all happened very similar times.
Yes.
And then Jeff Shaw said...
Good name.
I was like, is that a name that we know? And I was like, no, it's not. You know? I was thinking of another Jeff.
It's better than having like a user.
Oh, yeah, Jeff Shaw 85053.
Yeah, but even so.
Why it happened at the same time around the world is because someone had a godhead and shared it with the world.
I don't even know what that means.
I think they're like taking the piss saying that there was like a godhead that they learnt all the stuff, passed it on to the next one, passed it on to the next one.
Jeff Shaw?
Jeff Shaw, yeah.
Oh, Jeff Shaw.
Probably the most sensible one out the lot.
Yeah.
Then, apparently someone said, Ian Hopping said, we do know how the pyramids were built. So I just replied, well, tell me how. He didn't respond.
We do know how they were built.
No, we don't.
No, we do.
No.
Yes, we absolutely do. Did you not watch Blue Peter as a child?
No.
What do you mean you don't know how the pyramids were built?
No one knows how they lifted them up.
Yes, they do.
How?
But
Blue Peter told us the answers.
I don't remember the answer. I'm very, very, very old. Blue Peter was a long time ago. No, they did. They had like pulleys and stuff, and they dragged them up, and they used, and do you know when you get like wheels on and under a board and you just push them along and then you pull stuff?
But do you know how heavy these blocks were? You're talking about, like, if we had to do that today, we would struggle. I don't think we as humans would be able to do it.
But I don't imagine their health and safety was great. So I imagine they just got lots of people.
And also, like, people in, like, this country, it takes 7 people just to do one person's job. You know, when you see at the side of the road and, like, all they need to do is, like, fill in a pothole and it takes 20 people.
Yep. Shall I tell them a honey fact?
What's your honey fact?
Right. If you had to pay a bee national wage...
Oh, right.
Every jar of honey would cost £700,000. As in that is how much effort it takes a bee to produce the honey. That if you had to pay it minimum wage. So whatever minimum wage is, if
say £12.
Yeah, so say £700,000 divided by £12. That's how many hours it takes all of the bees to make a jar of honey. It's like,
But because there was like so many of them, but that's ridiculous.
It's mental, isn't it?
I'm actually half shocked.
I know. And do you know it never goes off?
£700,000.
£700,000 a jar. Don't say how big a jar, but I'd like just say the standard jar.
Standard.
Do you know it never goes off?
I think I did know that.
Yeah. So even though it gets... Oh, Tessie's playing with a ball and she's just attacking Shane's feet to get him to play. Come here, Ickle-Bickle. Come here, Ickle-Bickle. You coming here, boo-boo? No, you're just waggling around our feet.
Why does honey not go off?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it I want to say I've heard this before, but is it like an enzyme in it?
I think so.
That stops it.
I think so. And Joshy told me this. And I hadn't realised until I actually read a jar of commercially produced honey. Because loads of people produce honey and just sell it at I don't know, the side of the road and stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously it doesn't have like all the warnings on and that kind of thing. I bought some commercial honey not so long ago and it said do not give to children under 1 year old. And I think it's because of that.
Oh.
Ooh.
That is brand new information.
Yeah, but Joshy told me that. And until I thought, not that I didn't believe him, but I thought, but honey's like the best thing in the world for you, isn't it? It's like a natural...
I don't know.
So you don't like it, do you?
No. Have I told you my honey story?
No.
Why I don't like honey?
No.
It's
Has it got to do with Winnie the Pooh?
No. It's first
childhood
school.
trauma.
It's a childhood trauma.
Oh, my God.
In first school, I remember I must have been, say, like in year 1, because if I'm thinking of the room, like classroom that we were in, and for whatever reason, they made everyone take a spoonful of honey.
It's meant to be really good for you, though, isn't it? It's meant to be like nature's...
Is it?
Yeah, no, it really is. It does. It's meant to be really good for your gut health. It's meant to be really good... Whatever the word, for your immunisation, isn't it? It's meant to like...
Is it?
Yes. They say if you've got hay fever to take some local honey. Now, people with really bad hay fever will entirely just tell you that's a little bit of rubbish. And you're meant to take a bit of the honeycomb with it as well.
I have a tip for hay fever that someone told me once.
What's that?
But I'll finish the honey story.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
First
they gave us a spoonful of honey and literally the texture of it in my mouth, I gagged. So I ran and was being sick in the toilets.
Was it runny honey or cloudy honey? What? Or is it
Like,
crystallised?
no, like the runny honey that I just put in Andy's coffee.
Yeah.
It's like that. I can't bear it. I think it's the texture. So I've been put off since.
You probably should maybe try again because it's so good.
Yeah, but what do I need it for? Like Andy uses it as the equivalent of sugar.
But you don't have sugar.
But I'm sure I read somewhere that it's actually just as bad for you, sugar-wise.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, no, but it doesn't spike your glycemic index or whatever that is.
What's that thing? I think I was trying to ask Mary this the other day, or like the other month. You know, there's foods categorized into like a thing. I'd say like you know how it's like STEM is like a STEM food or something. I can't remember the actual word.
No,
it's like,
I don't know what you're talking
oh,
about.
I wish I knew the actual.
Yeah, me too.
And like, they say that maple syrup is actually better than honey.
Oh, okay. I
like
see what
when
you
you
mean.
start putting them all on.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think it's because you're meant to keep your insulin levels kind of even, aren't you? And not spike them. And then certain foods, everybody's different. What spikes your insulin? So like some people can eat like, say, unlimited mozzarella, and it won't spike because you've. And this is what, have you seen those Zoe things? No, diabetics have.
Davina McCall was advertising that at one point, wasn't she?
Yeah. And Marks and Spencer sell some of the Zoe stuff as well. And it is just to keep your glycemic index kind of.
Contemplated it because it goes to your phone, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think you only need to do it for, I'm going to say it's a month. And I think it is quite expensive. Sorry, Zoe, if it's not this, but I think it's over £200.
What, a month?
Yeah. But I don't think you keep it permanentally. I think you learn which foods.
Oh, I see.
And when you get you get these like special blue cookies. And that's meant, and how you react to the blue cookies tells you a lot about how. And then you just, every time you eat food, I think you just see how it affects you. And I think the aim is just to not to spike your insulin.
But I don't know whether that's, it's not the same as like intolerances, is it? Insulin.
No.
Because like your body changes every like
7 years or something.
Every 9 months to 3
Every 9
years,
months?
I think.
I thought it was every 7 years.
No, when Andy
Maybe
had
that's the
his
taste
one
buds.
done. When Andy had his allergy thing tested, they were like, you need to come off everything for at least 9 months because then it starts to change between like 9 and 2 to 3 years.
Have you had yours done? Because you could get it done on Medicash, can't you?
No, I don't want to because I don't want to know.
I had mine done and it was not through Medicash. Didn't realise we could do it through Medicash. So I just paid for it. And then I was really disappointed because I've got an allergy to mussels.
Oh, yeah.
I've not tried them in probably 25 years because it is so violent. And I hadn't realised there was a difference between allergies and intolerances. So when I did my intolerances, it didn't come up with mussels as being an intolerance at all. And most of everything was green. And I had a couple of ambers, can't even remember what they were. And I had like 3 reds. And the reds were yeast. And I said, well, what type of yeast? Is it yeast that's in bread? Is it natural yeast? Is it yeast that's in beer? Is it...
So, but what is the actual difference between an intolerance
and
an allergy?
I don't know. But they are different, and how they affect your body is completely different, apparently. So your intolerances are probably worth finding out because it might just be little steps. And if you're not actually allergic to it, you can still have it. I mean, I don't eat a lot of things like bread or beer or yeasty things, but apparently, and then what was the other one? It might have been milk, but I don't drink a lot of milk apart from in sort of tea. But it's never affected me. And then there was something else just random which I never ate anyway. So I'll try and remember what they were. But yeah, I was quite... So, and you have like this phone appointment afterwards. And I said, look, how can it be that I've got this really bad allergy, but in the intolerances it hasn't even come up?
Maybe we need a pounder to tell us what is the difference. What is the difference between an allergy and an intolerance?
Yes. People.
But for the tip for the hay fever, someone once told me, I went to their house and they had 3 dogs, and I was really allergic to these dogs, like really allergic.
What kind are they? Doesn't matter.
They were fluffy ones, but not fluffy. Like Tessie fluffy, but bigger.
Okay.
And there was like 3 of them. I'm trying.
There'd have been a lot.
What's Tessie's breed?
She's working Cocker Spaniel. She's having all...
There was a spaniel. It was a type of spaniel.
Was it?
What's like a slightly bigger spaniel?
I don't know, unless it was a cross, because I think Spaniels are
Maybe they
spaniel
weren't bigger than
size.
Tessie. Maybe they were. I thought they
You
were
do
like
get
here.
my friend's got a spaniel who's much bigger than her, but I think you
so
can have a
shit with
Welsh
dog
spaniel.
breeds.
No, I'm rubbish with them
No,
as well.
it was a. Was that a working spaniel? It can't be.
No, she's having all her fur cut off next Friday. Friday the
Why?
13th.
Why? Oh, what? It's like just a trim.
No, I want to take it all down, and then it'll take her a long time to grow it back because
It's got,
it's so cute, isn't it? But she gets so hot.
oh, you need to buy one of them little paddling pools.
Oh, she's got one at home, but then when we go
Oh.
to Suffolk, it's usually okay because we're by the river anyway. So, and I can just, she's fine. She'll go. She loves the river. But sometimes if I'm doing like the gardening and it's like really warm outside, then I need to get one for the other house. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I just thought it'd be better for the summer. Hopefully it'll start getting nice again. Considering we had
summer's
such a
over
lovely
now.
April and May. Don't say that. What's the actual date? Like
It's what,
6th
the
of June or something?
8th of June.
8th of June.
But the thing to stop the allergies was to put some Vaseline in your nostril.
Oh, I've heard that before.
And it worked.
Ooh.
But then it's like, oh, you always have to remember. It's probably because, like the pollens and the whatever you're allergic to on the dog, attached to the Vaseline
I
instead
can't
of
get
your...
into no, so I'm quite lucky. I don't know why I touched my face. Touch wood. That I don't get hay fever early doors, but
I do not.
So I don't.
Oh.
So it's not grass, but when they take the crops down in like August, I can barely breathe. Last summer, living in Suffolk and not being far from the fields, it's like a 2-minute walk to the fields from the back of mine. But when they were taking the crops down, when they were harvesting it, there were 2 days when I could barely breathe.
I had one of them days last Monday.
Did you?
It was so like the tree pollens were coming off.
Oh, okay.
Every time I went outside, literally, I was like sneezing. Because then you said to me, "Oh, you look a bit ill." I was like, "It's not. It's just every time I go out."
It's nuts, isn't it?
Oh, it was awful.
But sometimes when we walk across the fields, like especially if we go like really early doors, and when it's going to be, it's not quite warm. Well, it is warm, but it's not like dead warm first thing in the morning. And you've almost got that bit of haze. And if you get the light right, as she's like running past the plants in the fields and stuff, you can actually see the pollen. It must scare the bejesus out of some people.
There was once, I remember, I don't know whether I ever told you this. I don't know whether it was when I started working with you again.
Hi, Boo.
I walked out, I had to help Andy with something out really early in the morning in the fields, and we looked out and you could see it all rising up off the field.
Yeah, if you know you are hay feverish, then that's just like,
there.
oh my God.
Don't go
but
out there.
like every symptom, like, mate, I wanted to scratch my own eyes out.
I always get one eye.
It's like unbelievable. But do you know what? I once rang this was a few years ago, so I probably in Chippy at the time. And I rang my doctors because I thought there's got to be like other treatments apart from like antihistamines.
Yeah.
And there is, you can take an injection, it's about 75 quid.
What does that do?
I don't know. Not a doctor.
Oh.
Not a doctor. Doctor.
Dr. Louise Westwood.
Do you know what? Me and were, we're not allowed to call her
Elsie.
Me and Elsie were chatting the other day, and his other half's a doctor, as in she's got a PhD.
Oh, yeah.
And because I teach, I'd just been doing like all the final assessments, hadn't I, the students?
Yeah.
And I was like taking them like gift stuff. And he said, have you ever thought about doing it like permanently, properly? And I said, I'd have to get my PhD. And I said, it'd be absolutely intolerable. I would make everybody call me doctor at every opportunity. It's intolerable. I don't think, like, I love teaching and I love doing the prep for it. And I love seeing honestly, I'm not kidding. I've got 41 students from last year.
Yeah.
And the lowest mark that they got was 58, which is sort of a fairly high 2-2. And I had to teach them all about a new industry for them and some really complex accounting and complex techniques.
Yeah.
And they flipping got it.
Yeah, they were very clever.
Like,
they had big brains.
They had massive brains. And it's just like, so I'm thinking I've got to be as smart. I've got to be smarter than them. And like, I'm not as nimble anymore, am I? Because I'm in my very, very, very late 40s. And I just think, I'm not sure I am cleverer than these people. I'm not sure I am to then have to get my PhD to then teach them. And I've got a lot of real world experience and... But
do you
even
not
then,
think the experience will trump it, though? Probably
27 years having been an accountant, but even so, like, I was gobsmacked at how well they did, like, gobsmacked.
But do you not think it's good, though, that the next generation are
like
mega brain?
Like, I am not kidding. They were like, yeah, like, not joking, amazing. So, yeah. Yeah, so Dr. Westwood. So anyway, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what this injection... Yes. God, can you imagine? I literally would be like, you're not just calling me doctor, you call me doctor. Every single day.
Every day.
I refuse to be called Louise anymore.
I will not talk to you until you call me doctor.
But I'd have to put so much blooming effort into it, wouldn't I? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, and you'll be miserable for months. We can't be dealing with that.
Oh, I would be miserable. I would genuinely love to do it, but
Yeah. You're too old now.
I am way too old. So anyway, not a doctor. I can't even think what it's called. It's about 75 quid. You can get it in, I think, Aesthetics. The reason I know is because there's a nail place and a hair place near me.
What, and they do it?
And they do it. They don't do it themselves. They get people to come in and do it, but you can pay like 75 quid to have it. But I think if you're going to get your 75 quid's worth, you might as well have it done in like April or whenever, and so it lasts all the way through.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can have an injection. So anyway, I rang my GP because I was really, so this was a few years ago, and I was really, really suffering. I was just in Chipping Norton, I wasn't in Suffolk. And it got so bad that like, it got like so much snot that it was almost like the back of my throat was raw. It was just like, so I rang up the GP. This is in the days where you did ring up, because now it's all on an app and stuff, and you all do it online, which is brilliant because then you don't have to ring your GP. And I said, yeah, I'm really suffering from Hayfever, and I was just wondering if, you know, there was anything else. And she interrupted me, and she went, just go to the pharmacist. And I said, and you get all these warnings, please don't be rude to our staff and this kind of thing. I thought, I'm going to be trying to be as polite as possible. But so I said, would you mind if I just continued telling you what I was going to tell you? And she was just like, and she went, continue. You fucking bitch.
Probably the worst person to say that to.
But I did. I thought, no, she must have an awful job, because you must, you know. She must have people telling you, I fought in the war, I've paid my national insurance since I was 16 years old, why am I waiting 3 weeks for an appointment? She must get all of that shit all the time. But she did say to me, continue. So I said, yeah, I'm really suffering. Like, the back of my throat is red raw. And she said, as I told you before, go to your pharmacist. And all I wanted to ask, is there anything else apart from antihistamine? Is there, if you have it very bad, can you get an injection? Is that a thing? And she just said, go to your pharmacist. So I never did. I think it got better. Whatever I'd been having an allergic reaction to at the time was just like, oh, I don't know. Because people are different, because allergies are different things. I think some people are allergic to like oilseed rape, aren't they? So that when that flowers.
We've got loads around here.
Yeah, so that when that flowers, I think people. So I don't know. Whatever was being planted that year, I had an early reaction as well. And it lasted quite well to get my throat that bad. But yeah, you can have an injection now.
I did not know that. Maybe I'll look into that next year.
Maybe
although this is like the first year that I've had it bad for a while.
Maybe Jeff Shaw or one of the others could help. That'd be handy. Yeah.
So back to the YouTube comments.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What were you going to say then?
I was going to say, did we actually get to actually what happened? You know, bear in mind we're not doctors, not historians, not anything.
No. So another guy, I say guy, person, Cyberjar 23.
I reckon that is I reckon that's a bloke.
It looks like it. I think our demographic on the YouTube is more male than female.
Is it?
I think so. They've put, this is absolute bollocks.
Well,
There are about
it does.
1,000 years between all the examples he gives.
But in the long history, because have we lived on there's a statistic, isn't it, that we have lived, like people have lived on the earth for only like 0.5% of the time. So yes, so the 1,000 years in
Is like a penny.
yes,
Yes.
well, like a penny.
He's, well, like in penny to like, it's
Okay.
like spending a penny. That's how much it's cost.
Okay.
He put, or they
Come
put,
here.
when I can't even say the fucking word.
Civilisations.
When civilizations sprung up in different places, the things they needed were the same: clean water, food, shelter. They developed more niche things at different rates. Also, the Aztecs didn't exist until about 600 years ago.
I didn't know that.
That isn't 600 years ago. They were about like 2,000, 3,000 years ago. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I think so too, only because Matt, he studied theology at uni and we like talking about theology, although he always has, if we ever talk about theology in front of other people, then he always says, I'm not religious. He always has to codicil it, doesn't he? Because I like talking to Matt about theology. And he got a load of grants when he was at university to go travelling, like all over the world.
Did he?
Yeah. So he's literally travelled to like the most weird and wonderful places.
Has he got to see all these places?
Yes. Like researching the religion of the time. Like he's the most interesting man. Genuinely.
Oh, I did
And
not
it's
know
interesting
that.
anyway. But yeah, so he went, and I'm sure from talking to him it'd be a lot. No, it's way old. I
thought it was well,
I
because
might Google it.
because there are other civilizations in South America, but there weren't Aztecs. To call them after is like calling everyone in Asia Korean.
Right, okay.
But they just keep finding stuff, don't they? In like the Amazon rainforests, like
Did I?
yeah, like
I imagine
because
they do.
it's all grown up over.
Yeah.
They keep finding that actually everything that we thought was history isn't actual history because there's now this new layer of stuff.
Dum dum dum.
There's that scientist man, Andy likes him. He always talks about Toblerone or whatever the name of the place is.
Simon Reeves. No.
No, he's an older man.
I don't know.
Can't think what the name is, but
I don't know.
he did a TV series.
This podcast is like us
We should
just
know our
rambling
facts.
about. We should. Just rambling on about nothing.
Like, who is that person?
Why is this dog's bun in my face? It's because she wants to ball through. Look, her ball's here. Her ball's here. Where's it going? Boom!
But he's the type of... Oh, no, he's got it.
Oh, no.
Oh, she's got it. She's got it.
Yay, clever girl.
He is one of the scientists that... what do you call architects? He disagrees with what architects say.
Architects?
Not architects. Archaeologists.
Yep.
He disagrees with what archaeologists say because of all this new stuff that they're discovering,
Gosh, that's interesting.
which means all the history books may have to get rewritten if what he's saying is correct.
But I think that's generally what does happen anyway.
It's like with when I went to school, it probably may have been slightly different when you went to school.
Probably
Pluto
was.
was a planet.
Oh, I remember that. I do remember
And then
Pluto being a planet.
They
and then
changed
wasn't
it. It's no longer a planet. It's like a dwarf planet.
And Uranus changed as well, didn't it?
I think it did. No, Uranus didn't change.
No, I thought Uranus had changed.
I don't think so.
Maybe it's just the way you pronounce it.
Uranus.
Uranus.
Uranus and Uranus.
Indeed.
Yeah, because that got changed.
I remember
probably
Pluto changing.
But
But didn't something replace Pluto?
they think they found another planet, don't they? Like a giant one orbiting the sun in a really weird
I don't know.
pattern, like orbit.
I'd really like us to have some guests who actually know some facts rather
We need
than
a
us.
scientist to come on. Yeah, we almost do need like someone who has some like
Or
scientific
maybe
actual
actually we
knowledge.
did some research before starting, just
I would like
waffling
to
on.
think that like my scientific knowledge is quite up there because I do like that stuff.
I don't think we've been able to actually pinpoint a single fact since the entire time we've been
Probably
speaking.
not.
Not.
Did I tell you I bought Andy a telescope for Christmas?
I think so,
And that
yes.
we haven't actually used it since Christmas because it was so cold, like when
Oh my
we first
God.
got it that we were out there for like 2 minutes and your hands froze.
I once bought an ex one, and we lived in a flat at the time, and his mum, who was a hateful human being, so many stories, hateful, awful woman. I digress.
You look like you were having like flashbacks,
I
horrible
absolutely
flashbacks. But Mum sent me a message saying it's supposed to be like a pink moon or something in like a few days' time.
I think those, yeah, you get
and I
these
noticed
giant
it
pink moons.
when I was
don't you?
coming home last night. It was very orangey.
Did you see that thing? And it wasn't that long ago, only maybe 2 months. And I really meant to see it. And the dog had got me up in the night, and I thought, I'm up now to see it.
What the like?
And it was all, you could see all of the planets,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
planets,
yeah,
but you could
yeah.
basically see them all in
a line.
Yeah, and so the dog had got me up anyway. So I thought, I'm going to go upstairs, and I didn't have my contact lenses, the glasses on, and I was sort of
There you
going
were,
like
with your
this.
magnifying
Do you know
glass.
what? The funny thing is this is how actually blind I am, that I was looking up and I could sort of see that the sky was quite bright. So then when I got my glasses, and honestly, it was spectacular, but I couldn't see even like up into the sky without, but it was brilliant. And I've been talking to Stu about it, and I've meant to tell him that I did actually see it, but no, I didn't see it.
No, we saw it because when we got the telescope, we got an app that tells you where everything is.
Oh, okay, that's clever.
And there was one day, it's the first time I've seen the space station go past.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's cool to actually see it moving.
Yeah.
And then, we knew where like Mars was because you could tell by the different colours.
Yeah.
And you'd hold up your phone and it'd be like, it's
that's
there.
clever. That's dead
really,
clever.
really good.
I don't think I could do it in my house in Chippy either. I'd have to actually go out into the garden to do it. I've got one of the bedrooms is like on the L bit, when I've got a converted bedroom in the loft on one side of the house, and that's got Velux windows, but they're quite small, so I could maybe try and get it out there, but I think the best place is just to lie me back in the garden.
That just needs to be... Everyone come in. So talking about Mother Pounder, as we called her in the episodes when she was on, when Mum was on
Mother
the
Pounder.
Mother
Yeah.
Pounder, she commented on our AI episode.
Did she?
Yes. And she said
I
that
haven't
she
watched it yet,
uses...
Shane. I haven't used it. I haven't
Have you
watched
not?
it yet.
Have you not? She says that she uses Gemini when writing notes, and I had never heard of Gemini.
Isn't it a dictation type thing?
Well, it's on Word. Like I've got for here the 365 Microsoft, and it started appearing, and I was like, "What's this? It's fucking brilliant." I don't know why we haven't got it at work.
Have you noticed now on Teams, and now I don't know if it's the desktop Teams or it's just my phone Teams, but there's a little almost AI button. It's kind of different colours. Sort of, I haven't got my phone, it's in the car.
On the phone Teams? Or
on the phone Teams.
I think I may
And there's
have.
a button, and it's like, and the other day it got some suggestions, and it's just like, icebreakers for team building. And like some of them were just like ridiculous, and it was just like things that you might want to consider, and it's just like, okay.
Not that Excel test.
Yeah.
So Mum said because she can't, because when she's on the calls with clients doing her hypnotherapy counselling, she needs to like make some notes, but not like fully.
Yeah.
And she says because she can't touch type, the whole page is like mostly red. You know when you get a red squiggle underneath the thing, and she says she presses a button and bam, it moves it all into proper sentences for her.
No.
She doesn't write like anything confidential or names. She just writes bits. And she said, it just like creates the summary for her so that she's got the notes like recorded. So, until next time, pound away. Bye.
Yes, sort of a pound. Let's shout it loud. We're not a cult, but we've got a crowd.